Hey, what's up guys, Adam here, and Apple recently had their WWDC event where they released a ton of information as well as upcoming products that are set to be released later this year. And the main highlight of the event was definitely the announcement of the Imac Pro. Now externally, the Imac Pro hasn't really changed from the current release of iMacs. It's definitely the same shape, the same form factor. The only difference is they've actually changed the color now to a nice space gray color, which does look very aesthetically pleasing. But apart from that, externally, the iMac Pro is going to look exactly the same as the current generation of iMacs. However, it's what's inside the Mac Pro that's definitely been raising a lot of questions and turning a lot of heads. It's going to be using workstation grade components. Now, we're going to be getting first and foremost Intel's latest Xeon chips, and this is going to be starting off from the base core model, which you're going to be getting at 8 cores, then it's going to step up to a 10 core model, and then right to the end it's going to have the monstrous 18 core chip that you can have within the iMac Pro. Now with the RAM, it definitely stays up there with this workstation grade appeal. Starting off with 32GB of RAM, we can configure it right up to 64GB, or we can go right up to 128GB. Now the thing with the RAM is that it's not going to be, customizable. Once you buy the iMac Pro with that specific RAM package, you're not going to be able to change or upgrade the RAM once you already have the machine. Now when it comes to the graphics of this iMac Pro, it's going to be using a graphics card that hasn't even been released yet. It's going to be the new Radeon Vega graphics card, and that's going to start off at 8GB. It's going to be configurable right up to 16GB, so this thing is definitely going to be no joke in the performance department. Now, as you know, Apple is definitely not a fan of moving parts. That's pretty evident within the products that have released over the years, so we're not going to be getting any standard hard drives within this iMac Pro. It's all going to be pure flash storage, and blazing flash storage at that, and it's going to be starting off at 1TB for the base model, building right up to 4TB of storage. Now, contrary to what a lot of people thought with this new iMac Pro, a lot of people thought that they're going to go completely USB-C and go straight Thunderbolt and not bother with any standard USB ports in the back of the iMac Pro, but they didn't. They decided to keep the 4 USB ports in there, which is very good because a lot of people still tend to use a lot of standard USB 2.0 and 3.0 devices, so they're not having to go out and buy additional adapters. They can just simply use their additional or existing USB device that they already have. So that's a pretty good thumbs up there from Apple, because I thought they were going to completely get rid of, the standard USB ports that are there on most machines. So on paper, this looks to be a perfect machine. It's very powerful and it's got a lot of workstation grade components within it. And even gone so far as to increase the 5K display to 500 nits, which means it's going to be a fair amount brighter than it was on the existing panels. But the real elephant in the room is that who is this machine geared towards? Because for the longest, Apple has always had a 3-tier system. They started off with the Mac Mini, which is the entry-level desktop Mac for those who once had the Mac experience on a low budget price. And for all you had to do was simply just connect a keyboard and a mouse and a monitor, and you were set to go. And it was also useful for those who maybe was maybe used to the Windows side and wanted to go ahead and try the Mac ecosystem. Then of course you had the mainstream desktop computer, which was the iMac, an all-in-one computer which only required a keyboard and mouse. It already had its own built-in display. And then of course you had the Mac Pro, which was geared towards, as a workstation machine. It's geared towards those in the film industry, content creators, music creators who wanted a lot of raw performance. Now personally, I don't think a lot of the Mac Pro users, the ones that are still around, are going to be switching down to the iMac Pro, mainly because they're going to be looking for customization and modularity, and the iMac Pro does not really have that. They were even reluctant to go ahead and switch to the trash can looking Mac Pro, because again, even that lacked the amount of modularity that they were looking for, and thus some even went ahead and switched over to PC, so they have that modularity back available to them. So I don't think a lot of the the workstation users, the the high-end content creators, those in the film industry, those in the music industry, I don't think they're going to be switching down to the iMac Pro anytime soon. And then on the other end of the scale, I don't think a lot of the consumers, the ones that tend to buy an iMac, are going to be switching up to the iMac Pro, mainly because it has a very, very steep price point. Even for the base model, it comes in at around about $5,000. So I'm interested to know what you guys think about how this new iMac Pro is going to sit within the already established 3-tier system of desktops from Apple. And definitely, if you have any further information, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below about what you guys think. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next tech video. Bye for now.